I'm delighted to be here. Unfortunately, I cannot participate physically, but I'm here in 3D. So thank you for the introduction about Norwegian Energy Partners. Before I start the presentation, I would just give you a quick run through about the organization. The Norwegian Energy Partners is supporting the partnership efforts of the Norwegian offshore wind industry, and we work closely with the Ministry of Petroleum and Energy, Foreign Affairs, and Trade and Fishery, as well as other governments and non-government agencies, and organizations such as Innovation Norway. We are lucky we are supported by over 300 industry partners in Norway from the industry itself. The Norwegian wind industry draws on abundance of knowledge and experience for more than 100 years of Norwegian shipping and maritime activities, and 50 years of offshore and oil and gas exploration in the North Sea and across the globe. Our industry history has left us with the excellent understanding of offshore projects, offshore technology, and maritime operation. In addition, the need to build advanced equipment to work in harsh environment has led to a high degree of innovation in the Norwegian supply chain. We are now deploying our expertise, skills, and innovation, technology, and services in the growing offshore wind industry. You will hear some of these capabilities here today. As Lithuania is now developing their own offshore wind industry, Norway is ready to collaborate to create new innovation for efficiency and cost-leading projects with top-class installation procedure and operation and maintenance to match. As new projects are moving into deeper water and further off coast, we do see increasing value arising from the use of Norwegian offshore and maritime expertise. We therefore see the Norwegian expertise and a great opportunity for Lithuania to build out safe, cost-effective, and reliable offshore wind park as a good basis for common talks. So with that, while I wish I could be present in Lithuania with you, I wish you all a successful event with good discussion. And I will like to inspire you with the following film before I start the presentation. Thank you. Can you show the movie?
Has given Norwegian suppliers a unique engineering and marine competence.
Offshore wind energy really started in the North Sea. That is because there were good governments that really liked those type of technologies.
We are proud in Norway of the creativity and innovation of the offshore energy industry.
There's a new revolution coming using floating technologies for offshore wind. That will allow us to go further offshore, hunt better wind speeds in deeper waters, and reduce the environmental footprint further.
Our skilled supply chain is creating innovative and efficient cost reduction solutions and better services. Norway has value to add in offshore wind. We're open to collaboration, and the Norwegian offshore industry's strong reputation in health and safety standards makes us a trusted partner in this global development. Norwegian offshore expertise, taking offshore wind further.
Perfect. Thank you. Okay, so let me just begin. It's like I said in the speech, we are coming from hydropower, and we have done renewable energy for the last 100 years. So the history, and we moved into oil and gas in the 60s, and we've been there for 50 years. And that has led us to build out the marine competence and the marine experience we are kind of leading on today. So the Norwegian Energy Partner, like I said, we are 300 partners, mainly from the Norwegian offshore energy and maritime industry. So we are partly financed by the government and partly financed through the membership. So this is what we do in brief. We are involved in everything with solar, hydropower, oil and gas, CCS, energy system, offshore wind, etc. So everything related around energy. And I'm working myself with offshore wind. I've been working with offshore wind since 2012, so almost 10 years now. And it's been really interesting and fascinating to see the development of the industry. We are global present through, we have energy advisors is in 29 countries. And these are the markets we are covering today. So why should you talk with us? We have 5 decades of offshore engineering experience through our partners. You get access to competence and innovative environment through the Norwegian supply chain. So what can we do for you or for the stakeholders? We can, by supplying relevant technology and service from the Norwegian competence base, we can increase the efficiency in the supply chain management. We can create highly efficient supplier meetings between your specialists and relevant Norwegian suppliers. So this is the wind, Norwegian offshore wind expertise. This is taken directly from our webpage, www.norwep.com. And these are the mappings we have done for the industry in Norway and the areas where we see that we have a lot of competence. So you see that safety, digitalization, research institutions, and environment sea-based surveys are area, and foundations as well are areas which we think are competence which Norway and our partners have. Also with substation, we are able is delivering the substation for the Doggerbank, which is going to be the world's biggest offshore wind park once it's commissioned. And we have a web page called norwegiansupplier.no. So you can go in there and you can search for over 300 suppliers within the areas that I just mentioned, areas within safety, digitalization, etc. And these are some of our partners and some of our partners we have within the area of feasibility, licensing and planning. Of course, Equinor is known to many of you. And we also have other developers such as Magnora, Aker Offshore Wind, etc. So the pictures you see here, that's the picture in the middle is the picture from Hywind Tampen. So it's going to be 11 windmills which are going to support electricity to the 5 platforms in the North Sea, and that is going to be in operation next year. And on the picture to the right, you see the Fred Olsen concept. It's a concrete concept, windmill concept, and Norway are really positioning themselves now in the floating wind industry. And also now, as Norway are going to open up 4.5 gigawatts in the area of Utsira and Nordsjøen, we hope that is going to be both for bottom fixed and also floating. And we hope we can build up a better supply industry from the home market as well. On the front-end engineering part, like I mentioned, Able, which are delivering the substation for the Doggerbank project. Aker, they have their Aker Solutions capability, engineering capabilities. You have DNV with the certifications, worldwide recognized certifications. And also on the project management side, from the big ones to the smaller ones, Kongstia, which are involved in hydrogen as well, which is a hot topic these days when you're discussing power to X. So there are also companies involved in that. And we are also building quite large ship. Yesterday, the vessel you can see to the right there, it was yesterday it was an open visit, so some of my colleagues went and looked at the boat and they said it was amazing. That's one of the big innovative and new ships coming out to support this really fast growing industry. And it's Nexon which is involved in that project. And also on the installation part, there is a lot of capabilities coming out of Norway. You have OHT, offshore heavy lift and transport, heavy transport. They have just merged with Seaway 7 or Subsea 7, and they are going to be a big player in this market as well. We have DOF coming out of Bergen, where I'm sitting. They have a lot of subsea competence, and they are actually the one going to tow out the structure on the Hywind Tampen project that I mentioned earlier. And then you have Østensjø, the ship owners Østensjø, which is also involved through their company Edda Wind, with a lot of SOV capabilities. And you have integrated wind solution, which is also going to get delivered some of the newest state-of-the-art SOVs. And we have fabrication yards such as the PSV group in Mongstad, which is also located close here to Bergen, which are building up and could be a good collaboration partner for Lithuanian companies. And we have Framo, which is involved in the installation of jackets. So if you're not going to do a pile installation, you can do suction bucket installations. This is also a noise-free installation, which is important in markets such as Germany, where there have been a lot of concerns regarding noise through the aquaculture and the ocean environment. So on the vessel design and the maritime equipment part, you see some crew transfer vessel to the left here. You see the OOT, which I mentioned. This is the new vessel they are waiting to get delivered. It's the Alpha Liftus. It's going to be delivered this year, 2022, and it's going to support the Dogger Bank installation for Equinor and its partners there. And it's a quite unique ship with a crane of 3,000-ton capability. And as you can see on the picture, it can take jackets, can take monopiles. It's really a flexible vessel when it comes to the installation part. And also we have gangway companies such as Uptime, which can deliver the quite advanced gangway system, which can be wave compensated, meaning that you can operate in a higher wave and offshore environment. This is all part of innovative and great solutions coming out of the western part of Norway. And also on the foundation side, Norway is quite involved now with, like I mentioned earlier, with the Utsira project. That is 1.5 gigawatt, which is going to only be floating structures. So when I say 1.5 gigawatt, if you said the average turbine will be around 10 megawatt, we are talking about 150 floating offshore windmills in that area. That's Utsira alone. And then you have Norwegian 2, which is going to be 3 gigawatts. We are talking about 300 to 200 windmills, but that's going to be bottom fixed and probably jackets. So this is a huge structure. And the last project I was involved in on the practical side, that was the 8.5 megawatt turbine. So the wingspan of the turbine, we are talking about 180 meters of the wingspan of the turbine. So the dimension here are enormous, and it's only getting bigger and bigger. Safety. Norway has due to the oil and gas industry and our history within oil and gas in the 70s and the 80s, there was accidents in the North Sea, and the industry learned from that, and we have worldwide recognized safety and ASC equipment within the oil and gas that we would like to implement and take on the journey into the offshore wind environment as well. And on the digitalization part, we are doing a lot there. There's a lot of companies being involved in that: Telenor, Tampnet, Cognite, Kongsberg Digital. A lot of those companies has really advanced and good technology, and they can do a lot of operations remotely. So one thing is that it's cost saving, but it also taking away people from operation, meaning that you are reducing the manpower involvement, which is also a safety aspect. So on the oil field, Johan Sverdrup, which we just recently opened a couple of years back, which is producing 650,000 barrels. Most of that platform is actually remotely operated from land, and we see this in the offshore wind industry as well, that there is a trend to do more and more operation remotely and not to involve manpower, both to reduce the cost and also the safety perspective. Further on the digitalization part, this is also taken into the offshore wind operations. On the picture to the left there on the bottom, you see Storm Geo, which can deliver the weather forecasting, really on the point weather forecasting. You have Reach Subsea, which are developing subsea technology for remote operation, and also remote ships which can service the wind park, and subsea Wi-Fi, etc., etc. Like I mentioned earlier, the Subsea 7 constellation, they have a lot of competence and a lot of vessel which they can offer through the whole value chain, pretty much in the wind farm operation, everything from installation through their Seaway 7 system. And they have big vessels such as Seaway Strassenov and Seaway Yundin with big lifting capacity and lifting capability on the cranes. They can do cable laying, they can do pull out of the structures, they can do seabed monitoring. They have huge competence in that area. And this is this is a picture from China, where Yutun coated the monopiles. Yutun, which is kind of a world leader in painting and coating of ships. They are also involved in the offshore wind environment. So the North Sea, if you look at Europe as a total, a lot of the capacity is being installed in Europe historically in the offshore wind market, and this will continue according to our research and our analyze that. If you look at UK, for example, they have already 10 gigawatts of installed capacity. As you can see on the North Sea, it's going to develop 80 gigawatts the next 10 years. And on the next column, you see that the Baltic Sea is already at 52 gigawatts. So these are the two big markets here in Europe, and it's really pointing out. And I think Lithuania is at 16th place in Europe when it comes to development of the 700 megawatt they are talking about being tendered in 2023. Which is good, and we see also in the Baltics that the countries such as Poland, which awarded Equinor, Ørsted, and a lot of RWB and a lot of the other big majors earlier this year. It was awarded a total of 5.9 gigawatts to Poland earlier this year. And a lot of the other countries around Lithuania and also starting to get involved in offshore wind with Estland, Sweden, Finland is coming. Germany has already a quite large install base, same as Denmark. So there's a lot of things happening in the region as well. And also this has to do with the ambition of the European Union with reducing the carbon footprint and also increase offshore wind in the part of the energy mix. So this market it's really going fast. 14 months ago it was 250 gigawatt, which was released of project. Now we are at almost 550 gigawatts. So this is the speed of the market is tremendous, and if countries want to position themselves, they have to do it now. If they wait 5 or 10 years, I'm afraid that the train has left the station. So it's important to be on it. And when I listened to the conference yesterday, some of the speakers said that Lithuania maybe is a small country in terms of population and size, but the ambition is high. So maybe this bold statement can be taken into this industry as well, hopefully, and it can collaborate with countries like Norway. I think that will be a common fit for both countries. So this is an event we are going to host later this year. It's called the International Energy Forum. It's going to be in Oslo, 2nd and 3rd of November. There we will go through all the different energy sources: oil and gas, offshore wind, solar, hydro, CCS, hydrogen, etc. So if you have the opportunity, I will wish you welcome to join us there. This is the offshore wind team in Norway. And if you would like to know more, please go through our webpage on norweb.com on the wind side. And if you have any questions related to anything you heard today, please reach out to me directly. So that was it for me so far, and hopefully this can be the start of potential networking and collaboration between Norway and Lithuania in the time to come. So thank you all for spending time listening to me, and I wish you a continuous good conference.